started now. For people that are in line, that are in the 50 plus age group and all of the teenagers, it's probably better that you come hear the briefing now, and you can always go back to that line later. Especially if you're at the end of the line and you're just gonna be waiting around for a long time anyways. All right, 3 people listen to me. Awesome. Hopefully get slightly better percentage over here. So welcome everybody to the 2025 Age Group CrossFit Games. Hey, how you doing? Good to see everybody. A lot of familiar faces out here. We're gonna go through the athlete briefing. Gonna focus on. What's up, Josh? Sorry, ADD is kicking in. I'm gonna not look at any of you, so I don't say hello. So we're gonna go through workout by workout. We're gonna hit the movement flow first, ask for questions on movement flow, then we'll hit standards, ask for questions on standards. Feel free to hit us with any question. No question is considered done, publicly. So with that, I will kick it over to Karen and Jan-Maurice. They are your MCs for this show, right? Nope, I'm kicking it over to Boss.
Hey everybody, Adrian Bosman. It's my pleasure to introduce these events to you here. My understanding is that you've already got quite a lot of information about the events, so we'll try not to belabor it too much. But the idea is that you should leave this afternoon with a clear understanding of what event looks like on the competition floor and what the standards are that are expected of you. You guys should be familiar with Karen and Yamaris. They'll be the head judges for your competition. So as competition is unfolding, they'll be the ones that you need to talk to if you have anything that you need to discuss with the events. I've got DJ here. He'll be my demo athlete for the afternoon. And we've got 8 events to get through, so we're gonna try to move along quickly. The strategy that I'm gonna take is that for things that are fairly routine, toes to bar, muscle ups, things that you guys do day in and day out, we're not gonna spend a lot of time there. We will spend a lot of time on some of the movements that are a little bit more specific to this competition. So for example, the kettlebell hang clean, something like that, we might give a little more attention. But in the interest of time, we're gonna keep moving through some of the more routine things. Is that good? Great. So let's start. Event number 1 will be a run. All athletes are going to take on the run. For your divisions, you'll be doing 7 kilometers. So that's going to be just down the road, following the river. We took a tour of the course today. You guys will be started in your age category, which means there'll be no more than 30 athletes starting at your start time. Heats will start every 5 minutes, so there will be a lot of people on the course, but when you start the race, you will be starting with just your division. Okay, so you'll line up with your division. At go, you'll start the race. You'll continue the course. 5 minutes after your start, the next heat will start, and so on. So there will be lots of runners on the course. However, you start with just your division. The course is very simple. It follows the river path. I've seen many of you out there walking it already. There's only 1 or 2 places where it's even possible to take a turn off of the course, and at that point we'll have personnel staged to wave you in the right direction. Your divisions are running 7 kilometers. Be aware that there is a 5-kilometer turnaround that is not for your divisions, so you need to keep going past the first turnaround to the 7K turnaround. There will be a split time taken at that turnaround, so we'll know how many people actually made the turnaround, and if you didn't, we will know. It won't be good, so make sure you keep going all the way to that 7K turn. Only thing you need to think about once you're on the course is at the very beginning. At the beginning of the course, you'll be running down, you'll take a turn, and you'll come onto the main course. As you finish the course, you'll be coming back and taking a turn towards the finish. To make sure that there is no cross traffic between athletes, DJ, can I borrow you? We're going to ask you to stay to the left as you enter the bridge. And that's very obvious when you're there, it's right at the start. So if DJ and I are working the course at different times, he's entering the course and I'm exiting. As we come onto the bridge, we're on the left so that we don't have this cross traffic. Once you're past that point, the path is wide enough, you can just take the line that you like. Any questions on the run course? Yes, sir. There will not be mile markers every mile. There will be aid stations at certain sections of the course and the turnaround at the 5 kilometer, or I guess the 2.5 kilometer, and then the 3.5 kilometer. But there will not be mile markers beyond that. Yes. Great question. No, we're going to request that you do not wear earphones just in case we need to communicate with athletes while they're on the course for whatever reason. Please, no earbuds while you're on the course. The course is 100% paved, so you guys will always be on pavement. There's a hydration station at the 2.5K turnaround and again at the 3.5K turnaround. Yes. Great question. So the course is not closed off to the public specifically. We will have course marshals all the way down, and they will be advising people that are on the path that, hey, there's going to be lots of runners. It's also a commonly used run path for runs in the city, so it should be familiar to people that use that. We'll do our best, but there may be a couple of people on the course that are just regular pedestrians. So just be aware. Yes. Got it. The question was, what does the 5K turnaround look like? It will look like a water station, there'll be course marshals there and judges, and there'll be a physical barrier for you to turn around, and there'll be somebody telling you to turn around. We're also going to mark anybody who's running the 5K with a 5 on their shoulder, so the judge will be able to spot you and say, turn here. All right. Yes. Time cap on the run, I don't believe there is. There is no time cap. So everybody makes the run. Nice try though. Okay. Okay, any other questions on the run? Yes. Well, the start is on the run course physically over by the river. So you guys, athlete control will make sure you guys have that information. So it starts, there's a little turnout road. That's where we will have the start and the finish set up for you. And once you start, you'll enter onto the path that enters towards the river pretty quickly. But it's a little bit of an off-road right away from the main path. It's hard to describe without being there, sorry.
We get the address where it is. We get the address where it is.
How do we get there exactly? Like,
So to arrive at the run, you guys will need to be responsible for that. So I'd recommend take some time this afternoon to go and see the timing. From here, it's about a 15 to 20 minute walk. That is possible. It's pretty easy. There's obviously the bikes and scooters around town. There's limited parking and it will be busy. So I'd recommend if you do plan to drive, have somebody drop you off or carpool. But those are your best options.
and was the address given to the athlete, like the exact address?
Great question. Is the address for the run?
Lower.com stadium. It wasn't at the athlete.
We'll make sure the address is on the signal channel that the athletes are using. Yes. We're going to request that athletes are on site 30 minutes before their run time, just to make sure we can account for everybody and get you ready to go. So 30 minutes prior to your heat starting, please make sure you're on site at the start of the run. Sorry. That is not the lineup time, but you just make sure you're on site. Yes, we have restrooms available. It's going to be a fully supported event, so show up and pee. There's just not a lot of parking. Yeah, I'm going to take one more. We're going to move on because we've got a lot more to get through, and the run is very simple. So, yeah. Great question. So, athlete control, DJ, how are you? Yeah, so by the start, the question was, will there be an area for us to leave our equipment on site at the run? And the answer is yes. By the start line, there'll be a designated area you guys can leave your equipment. Just keep in mind it'll be busy, so space is relatively limited, but it will be there. And you're okay without your credential? Yes. Okay. Okay, whistle that, yeah. Yes, so the run is an out and back. So if you are running 7 kilometers, you'll go 3.5 out and 3.5 back. Yes. Yes, again, there'll be water stations at each turnaround point. So at the 2.5 kilometer and the 3.5 kilometer, there will be water stations. All right, let's move on. Workout number 2. This is a max clean and jerk. Athletes, you will have 4 attempts to establish your max clean and jerk, and that's going to be running on a timer. So you take a look at DJ, he's going to be standing behind the barbell. Now if you can imagine that box that he is in currently, and then the box in front of him, that will be his lifting area. So it's 10 feet long by 8 feet wide. Pretty generous, pretty good sized platform. We'll have platforms in every other lane, and then a big gap in the middle, and then platforms in every other lane at the front for 2 rows. Okay, so lots of space to lift. Athletes will start standing behind their bar, and when you get called out onto the field, you'll have 2 minutes to stage your first lift. At go, you'll start your first lift, and you'll have 20 seconds to complete the attempt. After the first attempt, you'll then have 90 seconds to rest and reset your barbell for the next lift. We'll continue in that fashion for 4 attempts. Okay, so 20 seconds to lift, 90 seconds to rest and reset for your next lift. Continue for 4 attempts. Heaviest lift wins. Now, one thing I would like you guys to be aware on the tie break. The tie break will be the total amount of weight that you successfully lift. So for example, if DJ and I both tie at 110 pounds as our best lift, I know it's massive. Okay. The tie will be broken by totaling all of our other attempts, and whoever has lifted more wins. So if I had 100 pounds on attempt 1, 2, and 3, and I lifted 110 pounds on my 4th lift, I have a 410 pound total. If DJ is above that total, even though we tied on our best lift, he would win. Does that tie break make sense to everybody? Great. So I'm not your coach, but it is in your best interest to put a rep on the board during each one of those 4 intervals. Questions about how we're going to get through this event, and then we'll talk about the clean and jerk specifically. Awesome. Okay, go ahead. Question was, I want to do some conversions on the weights. Can I bring out my phone or a calculator? If you must, that's okay. We prefer that you use a piece of paper or something that can't get broken. That would be ideal. But if you absolutely have to, that's okay. But it must follow the same rules as everything else, meaning it has to be out of your lifting area clearly before you can start the lift. Go in the back, and then we'll come to you next. Oh, I got a demo on this one. Okay. Yes, great question. So, DJ, let's have you set up. So the 20-second lifting window does not mean you need to complete the lift. It simply must be started or off of the ground for 20 seconds. So if I'm counting down 19, 20, but the bar is off the ground and he successfully completes the lift, he's good to go.
Não necessariamente precisa completar ainda. Você pode faltar tipo um segundo. Se você tirou do chão.
So in that window, you are allowed to take multiple attempts if one attempt is not successful. And so if he gets a no rep or misses the lift and he still has time, as long as it's off the ground before 20 seconds, he can continue that attempt.
Se ele errar daqui um segundo, você pode fazer isso.
Yes. So athletes will be responsible for loading their bar. And again, collars, extra weights, everything else must be clear of your lifting area, that 2-box area before you can start.
Como é que é o score?
Yeah. Sorry. The 2.5 plates will be the lowest increment available. So a 5-pound jump is the smallest jump.
Acho que as anilhas já mais baixa, 2,5.
Yes, so again, when you, we'll do it for real here. So you'll be called out onto the competition floor, calling out this heat. From that point, you'll have 2 minutes before the event begins to load your first bar. After that 2 minutes, the first 20-second lifting period starts.
Não vai ter então? Só vai ter 2,5 em cima?
You do not have to lift on all attempts, but again, I'm not your coach. That tiebreaker might be a factor.
Como tu vai jogar 105, vai jogar 115, entendeu?
Yes.
Ok.
The weights will be in pounds. Yes. Yep. Great question. Can you take a warm-up attempt in the 2-minute pre-lift period? And the answer is no. You need to do your warm-ups before you get to the competition floor. Okay? So that initial 2 minutes is for loading. Only the attempts in the 20-second windows are allowed. Okay. Let's take a look at the clean and jerk. It should be pretty standard. The bar is going to start on the ground. He needs to bring it to the shoulder in one motion, and then he needs to lock the bar out overhead, meaning the knees, hips, and elbows are locked out. Wow, with the turn. With the bar over the middle of the body. From there, he can drop the bar. Good rep. You cannot drop the bar behind you, and if you miss the jerk, you must attempt the entire clean and jerk over again. You cannot re-rack and re-attempt the jerk. It's too dangerous at max loads.
Depois de voltar no mesmo.
Yeah.
Decrease the weight from.
Yes. So from attempt to attempt, if I load up on attempt number 2 and it's too heavy, I fail. Can I go down on attempt 3? Yes.
Se errar, pode manter a carga.
Só não pode voltar nos outros.
E não pode abaixar?
Yeah.
Você?
Não, mas eu digo abaixar a carga do lado.
Não, você pode abaixar, mas não vale a pena.
Não, sim, mas.
Você pode manter a mesma casa. Ah, tu diz assim, pra explicar
Yeah, I
rápido.
might have misspoken that. Last lifting period is 30? Yep, my bad. So 1, 2, and 3 are 20 seconds. Your final attempt, you have a little extra time at 30 seconds, which rounds us to that full 6 minutes. Good catch. All right. Take 1 or 2 more questions on the clean and jerk, and we'll keep it moving. Yeah.
Is it a measurement if you catch it? Do you have to catch it after?
So the question is, are we following a weightlifting style standard where you have to catch locked out, or can I press out? And the answer is you can press out. As long as you get to the lockout position, good grab. All right. Moving on, event number 3. So to frame the competition, Thursday, we run and we clean and jerk. Reset, now we're on to Friday, and Friday we'll have a big chipper event that we're gonna go through right now. So this event will start with the athlete on the green. I'm sorry, used to saying green. We always have the green ones at the games. We'll start on this side of the field at the start mat. At go, you'll run to the rower and you'll complete your designated calories. For most athletes, that'll be 60 or 48 calories. For some of you, that'll be 50 and 40. Once you've completed the row, you'll move forward to the kettlebells in your lane. They'll be positioned side by side facing the bleachers. You'll then complete 25 reps in the first box, and then you'll move forward to the next box to complete your final 25. So 25 and 25. Then you'll move back to the rig, and you'll complete 40 toes to bar. When you reach the rig, you'll turn around and face the bleachers. So the common theme is that you'll be facing the bleachers. Once you finish your toes to bar, you'll pick up the kettlebells, you'll move them forward to the next box, and you'll complete 15 kettlebell thrusters. You'll step forward, and you'll do 15 more for a total of 30. Once you finish the thrusters, you'll move the kettlebells forward again. A single kettlebell forward. And you'll complete 10 weighted single leg squats in the first box and 10 in the next box. Go ahead and bring it forward. And once you've completed your final single leg squat, you'll come to the finish. Time stops. I'm sorry, the AMRAP. Jeez, I'm blown it. We got 18 minutes. So, since we're all going to finish at least one round, at that point, you'll pick up the kettlebell, you'll take it back to the original box to set yourself up for your second round. You'll continue your row calories, your cleans, your toes to bar, and so on. But the basic flow of the event is that each movement on the floor will be broken up in half. Half in the first box, half in the second. You will be responsible for moving your kettlebells. So again, when you come off of the rig, you'll take that kettlebell set forward. And when you move forward to the single leg squat, you'll bring that in. 18-minute AMRAP for this event. Any questions on the flow of the event? Movement standards we'll look at individually, but just how to move through the event. Yes. So again, we'll always have a standard 2-minute walkout. So you'll have 2 minutes to come out if you need to adjust the rower. Should be plenty of time to set the dangling foot straps and then make your way back to the start. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. We start seated on the rower, so you have even more time.
Pode
to
começar
sit.
sentado no
See, we
reto.
starting there.
Era o que estava ensinando na regra.
My mistake.
Nós estamos sentados. pode começar
Isso é o que ele tá
So
falando.
once again,
Vai pra onde?
started on the rower and working your way down the floor. Okay, let's take a look at the row. Yes, sir. No, no, you're good.
Does it matter if we move them before we go back to the
Eu não sei qual foi o
Preferences, you move it when it is most intuitive, meaning you return and you're moving to that next step, you'll move it at that time. If you move it in the out of sequence, it's fine. But the preference is row, kettlebell, kettlebell, total bar.
Terminei os thrusters, deixei
Counter
no
the
quadrado.
kettlebells again,
Aí
moving
vai, faz
forward,
outra tarefa.
kettlebell, kettlebell, etc.
Ah, eu acho que faz o transformador.
Yeah.
E o último? Você leva o trabalho de volta?
Ela fica melhor. E daí vai pro centro.
Great question. Time's tight. It's running out. Do I have to move the kettlebells back? Yes, you do. And the event has to be done the same for everybody. So even if time's tight, yep, you got to take your kettlebells back and deposit them before you start rowing. Good question. Okay, let's take a look at the row.
Ah, toda vez que eu acabo o kettlebell, move ele pra frente.
Não, eu não entendi.
DJ, go ahead.
É, eu
He's
sempre assim.
enthusiastic about that row. We'll have you guys seated on the rower. You can adjust the damper and the foot straps at any time. The monitor will be reset by the judge.
Só quando vai começar.
Any questions on the row? Must remain seated until you get to your designated calories. So stay seated until it clearly reads your number, and then you can move on. Yes, sir. Do you have to clip in? No. If you want to row without the clips, it's up to you. Okay, moving on to the kettlebell clean. DJ, let's bring those up front and center. This is one that people are going to want to see. Let's go maybe right here. And then can you turn and face me? So the kettlebell hang clean. This rep begins with the athlete holding the kettlebells. Let's show one rep from the ground. If you start from the floor, you can simply bring the weights right to the shoulders. So go ahead, from the ground to the shoulder. That does count when the kettlebells are on the ground.
No rap, tem que marcar.
So, for the rest of the reps, the hang position is going to be anywhere at or below the hips. So let's see 2 or 3 reps. Good. And pause. Okay, so the rep is going to be credited when the athlete is standing tall. Let's show one more and just hang out with the rack. Athlete's standing tall. You can see his knees and hips are extended. His elbows are in front of his body, and the kettlebell is at the shoulders.
Cotovelo frente.
That's the finished position.
Cotovelo
I want to show you guys a few reps that will not count. And the first is when we have the elbows remaining behind the body, but he has touched the shoulders. It's a little bit goofy. You got to do a couple reps in a row. You can't hang out there. That's the whole point. All right.
Porque relaxa no
Cotovelo tem que estar
Stop
na
for a
frente
second.
do
You're
ombro.
good. You're good. Rest. Okay.
Posição de
So what I'm
frente
trying to get at, what will not count is if I bring the kettlebell to the shoulder, it touches my shoulder, but my elbow has remained behind the body, that will not count. My elbow needs to be in front of the body. It does not need to be in front of the kettlebell, it's just simply in front of the body.
Não precisa tão alto.
Just a note on finishing a set, when you finish the set, you cannot drop the kettlebell above the waist, okay? We don't want the kettlebells spilling into somebody else's lane or getting damaged. So when you finish that last rep, you must bring the kettlebells to the waist before you can let them go. Okay, so let's see a couple more reps. And let's start, DJ, just listen to me for 1 second. Let's do a set of 3. And I want you to start from the ground on the first rep. We'll just do nice and easy pace here. And we'll count them together. 1, 2, 3. Okay, he's choosing to have the the kettlebell on the side of his shoulder and the elbows a little bit pointing out. That's fine.
Eu entendi.
What we're looking to avoid is the elbows low behind the body or the body not extended at the top of the rack. Questions on the kettlebell hang? Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, in the hang position, the arms must be straight. Go ahead. Question. On the rower gymnastics grips, yeah, great. Yeah, you can use them gymnastics grips for the entire workout, so no policing on that. Cool. Okay, any other questions on the kettlebell hang clean? I know that's a little bit of a unique movement for a lot of people, so let's just make sure we're clear. Yeah. Absolutely. So your choice, if you'd like to do that movement with both bells outside the legs, that's fine. Inside the legs is fine too. Either grip. It can be power cleans or muscle cleans, but you cannot squat below parallel. Not that you're going to want to anyway. Save that for the thrusters. Yes.
Não pode fazer fora, não. Pode?
The question is, can I rest the kettlebell completely on top of the shoulder? And the answer is yes, because again, I'm touching the kettlebell, the elbows are in front. The stylistic choice at the top is totally up to you. All right. Okay, let's keep moving here. Kettlebell thruster. Should be pretty familiar. The kettlebell is going to be at the shoulder. You're going to squat below parallel, and you're going to lock out overhead. Let's see 2 reps. Yeah, if you want to squat in the first rep, you're welcome to, but you don't have to. So he squats below parallel, full lockout overhead. 8 reps. Perfect. I'll say what we are not very concerned about is the rack position. It's up to you. Again, the style that you want to hold the kettlebells in the rack is up to you. The only thing we do not want you to do is hold the kettlebells behind the head. It's awkward anyway, and it's just risky to bring them back down behind you. But beyond that, the rack position is up to you. Questions on the kettlebell thruster?
Pode. Só atrás.
Yes, sir. Yes, good question. Let's take a look at 2 different scenarios. So we're going to look at 2 different scenarios, one that does not count and then one that does. So scenario 1, he's going to do a squat followed by a jerk. He squats, kind of jerks, no rep. He re-dipped before he pressed out. That will not count. Does that make sense? No rep. Scenario number 2 is he's completed a good rep. So he's completed a good rep at the top. He brings the kettlebells to the shoulder and he decides he wants to take a pause before the next rep. Good to go. Yep. When you transition, you can simply keep going. There's no need to reset on the floor or anything like that. If you've got the gas, keep going. Good question. I've got one shoulder I'm a little concerned about it. It might be trailing the other one. As long as they both get there, you're good to go. Okay? They don't need to get there at the same time, but if one gets there early, he's got to wait for his buddy.
Você tem que chegar os dois ao mesmo tempo, não necessariamente, mas ele não vê vantagem, então pode ficar lá sustentando.
So as far as overhead, same standard as the barbell. We need to see that the arm is locked out and the arm is in line with the body when viewed from profile. So when I'm here, the width of that lockout is less important than the position of the arm. Does that answer your question? No, again, if I'm locked out here, good rep. as long as my arm is in line with the middle of my body. Again, I'm not your coach, but I'm not sure I'd recommend that lockout. Okay, moving on. Next up, we've got the toes to bar. And I moved out of sequence just a little bit there, but you guys know that. So toe to bar. Very standard toe to bar. There will be risers available for shorter athletes. There will be one riser available, and there won't be any multiples. So if you need that, that will be there for you. You'll be facing the bleachers. Each rep starts with your arms straight and your heels behind the plane of the bar. Each rep is credited when both feet touch the bar at the same time between your hands. Let's see 3. I feel like we're doing, you got 3, DJ, come on. 1, 2, 3. Any grip, it's up to you, but the feet must touch in between the hands. Any questions on the toes to bar? Yes. Yeah, unfortunately not. The bars will be at the set height and they will remain at that set height. So if you're stretch Armstrong, unfortunately, that is the height of the pull-up bars. Yep. You should be fine with the risers we have available. If you're concerned about that, come see us ahead of time and we can take a look and see if there is a legitimate issue with getting up to the bar. Well, there you go. So there's going to be a 12-inch riser available or a 6-inch riser, your choice. So the 12-inch riser should be no issue for anybody in the field. Yeah. Good to see you. Okay. Moving on to the single leg squat. All right. We've got one kettlebell that we're holding for most divisions. I missed it. What's up?
Ele não consegue fazer.
Come on, DJ. You got it. Dude, look at those quads. You believe this man can't do a single leg squat? I don't believe you for a second. Come on. All right. So he's going to start standing tall with the hips and knees extended, and the kettlebell is going to be held in front of the body. The rep is going to be credited back at the same position. So you can have 2 hands on there. He descends below parallel. Yeah. So let's take a look at that hold for a second. He can hold the kettlebell in front of the body any way that he likes, as long as it is above the waist and in front of his body. He may not rest it on the rack or on the shoulder. You cannot rest your non-working leg on top of the working leg. It must remain free.
Uau!
And the non-working leg must remain in front of the center of your body. So meaning, exactly, you can't pass behind that line.
Fez, ó. Só vai fazer assim.
You must alternate legs after each successful rep, and you cannot alternate until you get a successful rep. So I'm going to put him on the spot here. DJ gets 1 good rep. Here we go. Good rep on the left. He must start the next rep on the right. Good. Okay. Now, if he gets a no rep on one of those, he has to continue on that same leg until he gets a good rep. Then he can switch. Okay, so you must switch after a good rep. You must get a good rep before you can switch. Everybody clear on that? Awesome. Yes. For those divisions that do not have a kettlebell to hang on to, yes, you can hang on to the non-working leg if you'd like to.
Pode segurar no pé. Acho que vai ser uma boa opção, mas tem coisa que não tem kettlebell.
So again, we gotta hold that kettlebell in front of the body, not on the body. So if you're holding the kettlebell, you can't be holding the leg. And to keep it real simple, if you have a kettlebell, you can't hold your leg. So again, we'll keep it real simple. If you're holding the kettlebell, you cannot hold your leg. Just make it real clear for everybody. It doesn't need to be separated from the body, but it does need to be on the body, or in front of the body. Cannot be resting on the shoulder. So the question is, if I have it in that tight rack position with the opposite hand on there, you're good to go. So let's take a look. Yeah. Good here, not good here. Yep. Right, I understand that you can, but what I'm saying is that if you're holding a kettlebell, you're not going to be holding your leg. Okay? Does that make sense? We've got the 60 plus that are not holding the kettlebell.
Aliás, postou não, ele segurou.
I've got the 60 plus divisions can hold on to the non-working leg, and I believe the 60 plus are not using the kettlebell for the workout. Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Mais estranho que eu não consegui ver ninguém de 70 a mais.
Sure.
Isto é, todo mundo
So the question is, I'm holding the kettlebell in the front rack position. I get down to the bottom. Can I push it forward? Sure.
Cadê o seu?
Yep. All right. Any other questions on the single leg squat with the kettlebell for most of us? Great. Okay, so one more time from the top. This workout's a big chipper. We're going to start on the rower. We'll work through each movement. All of the movements on the floor will be broken up
Toda vez que eles
in
falam de
half.
cabeça, automaticamente já.
And if you make it all the way down to the end, you'll reset your kettlebells and continue until 18 minutes runs out. Any other questions on the chipper? Okay, fantastic. Moving on. Next one. We've got GHD sit-ups, burpees over the bag, and bag carries. So this one, we really will start on the start line. DJ, if you guys take a look at lane number 8, we've got this mapped out. Now what I do want you to be aware of is that you will not be doing this workout on this floor. We understand that this fence is very close. That's not the case. You'll be doing this workout over on the turf floor, and there's lots of room. So a lot of questions in the last session about, aren't we really close to the fence? For right now, yes, but that's not the exact setup. So just make sure you understand that. So DJ's going to start on the start mat, and at go, he's going to run down to the GHD. He'll hop in and complete the number of GHD sit-ups for his division. Once he's finished, he'll jump out. The bag will be waiting for him in his lane, and he'll do 16 burpees over the bag. Those will be facing the bag. Once he's completed the burpees over the bag, he'll pick up his sandbag and he'll complete a 150-foot carry. That's going to be broken up into 30-foot sections, meaning he'll start down on that side, he'll complete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections, and then he'll leave his bag to go back to the GHD. He'll complete the second round with fewer GHD sit-ups, the same number of burpees, and then the carry will be 3 sections. 1, 2, 3, which places it back to where it is now for his final round, where he'll do fewer number of GHD sit-ups, the same number of burpees, and then he'll pick up the bag and do 1 more section, which ends him at the finish. Okay? So again, the flow. Start down here, GHD, burpees, 5 carries, which lands him on this side. GHD, burpees, 3 carries, which ends him on that side. GHD, burpees, 1 carry, which gets him to the finish. Questions on the flow of the event. We'll look at the movement standards specifically.
Vocês entenderam como funciona essa prova?
Vai largar lá.
Okay, I see some people doing the math. Great. All right. Let's take a look. Yeah. We'll get to the burpee in a second. If I don't answer that when we're in the burpee section, then I should bring it back. I'll get there in a second. Okay. So let's take a look at the GHD sit-up.
Ah, ele vai fazer.
Each rep starts with the top of the, I'm sorry, both hands touching the top of the GHD. Go ahead and hop up in there. Really important, sometimes athletes, when they jump in and they're moving quickly, they miss that initial touch. So make sure that you start the rep by touching the foot pads, then touch the ground behind you. Some divisions will have the riser, that's what they'll touch. And then you get credit when you touch the foot pads again. So foot pad, ground or riser, and back to the foot pad. There will be a hip designation on the GHD, and they must remain on or behind the tape line. There'll be a tape line at the top of the GHD, and your hips must remain on or in front of that line, not closer to the foot pads than that. Any questions on the GHD sit-up?
O flow eu não entendi muito bem.
Yeah.
O flow da prova, né? Também não.
So the question is, if I miss with one hand, does it still count? And the answer is no. It needs to be a two-hand touch, both at the start and at the bottom of the movement. Okay, so make sure both hands get there. Yeah. Yes, so again, you'll have that walkout period of 2 minutes to come out and set your GHD sit-up and adjust it if you need to.
Vai ter dois.
And of course, during the workout, if you need to adjust it again, you're more than welcome. Yeah. Just certain divisions will have a riser, so all athletes are working to the same standard within the division. That'd be nice, though. I'll take the 12-incher, please. Yep. It depends on the division. So if there's, we'll get there in a second. Any other questions on the GHD? Let's move on to the sandbag. Great. Okay, moving on. The burpee over the sandbag. First question about the sandbag itself. Each division will have a slightly different load, and therefore some divisions will have a different sandbag. So some divisions will be using the Husafel bag, yes. Other divisions will have the bag that you see here. So during the burpee, very standard burpee, the chest and thighs must touch the ground, and you must be facing the bag. You can step or jump out and into the next position. You need to jump over the bag, and you'll get credit when both feet reach the opposite side. 1. Yes. So it does not require a 2-foot takeoff, but you must have both feet in the air at the same time at some point as you cross over the bag. If you touch the sandbag incidentally, that's fine, meaning you catch the sandbag on the way over incidentally, that's fine, that will not be a no rep. However, if you deliberately step over the bag, that's a no rep. If you get a no rep for any reason, you'll simply start where you are for the next rep and continue. Yeah, so 2 questions are hidden in that question. You must face the bag at the bottom of the burpee. So at the bottom, he must be facing the bag. Now, if he wants to come up and turn laterally and jump over, that's fine. But at the bottom of the burpee, he must be facing the
Pular de
bag.
ladinho na sandbag.
Okay, so we're not really interested in trying to police how you get over the bag, but when you're on the floor, you must be facing it. Yes. So So again, this workout will not be performed on this floor. It will be performed on that floor, and there's more room for you guys to complete this. This fence will not be in the way. So, good question, but you won't have to worry about it. Okay. There was another burpee question. Did I answer it? So this is your question. Good? Okay. All right. Next up, sandbag carry. Very simple. It needs to be held in the bear hug position, which means that your arms wrap around the bag and hold it against your torso. Both feet need to be behind the designated line. It's a little hard to see with the CrossFit logo, but there is the tape line directly in front of DJ's feet. He needs to pick up the bag before that line. Then he's going to walk down until both feet pass the final line. We're looking for both feet to pass the section. This is especially important on the last rep. The tendency, let's say that this is rep number 4, all the way down, that's 4. Now you're gonna finish, and no rep. Why? Because both feet were not over the line before he dropped the bag. We didn't even script that. But
I told you.
you can't let go of the bag until both feet are over the line. Okay, we're not looking for the bag, we're looking for the feet. Okay, so I'm coming up on that last one, both feet. Now I can drop. Great question. So in the event of a time cap, each rep is going to be counted by these 5-foot sections. If you get a no rep, you'll have to complete that last 5-foot section again. Okay, so if you did what DJ just did, you bail early on the bag, the judge will have you pick it back up, return behind the last line, and finish. Don't make that mistake. It's an easy one to avoid. Yes. So the 30-foot line and the finish line will be the same. So on that last bag carry, you'll simply carry to the finish time. Okay, any questions on the bag carry? Yes? No. So the question was, do I need to worry about a lockout position when I finish the bag carry? And the answer is no. You just need both feet over the line. You do not need to reach extension. All right. GHD burpees bag carry. Final questions on this, and we're moving on. That's your Fridays events. Is that? Depends on your division. My division. Yeah.
Fechadão.
Great question. So let's do another couple burpees over the bag. The question is about, can I jump around the bag instead of over it? And the answer is, yeah, I know, I'm going to get there. I'm trying to stay conceptual. I got you. I got you. So the question is, do I have to jump over the bag? And the answer is yes. Go ahead. The more subtle question is it okay if a portion of my foot is technically outside the side of the bag? And the answer is yes. However, if you're deliberately passing around the side or clearly not going over the top, the rep will not count. Okay? But if we're getting the micrometer out there, so if this is my bag and my toe exits the field of the bag there a little bit, you'll be all right, as long as you're over the bag. Cool. Yes. So again, you must be facing the bag, and those directions that you have available to you are finish line or rig. So if I'm angled off like this, it's not facing the finish line or the rig. I need to be facing straight down my lane. For every event, you must remain inside your designated lane. We cannot have you touching the boundary or impeding on somebody else's lane. Okay. Moving on to the next event. Is that whistle for me? Yeah. So go one more time, DJ, real quick. We're gonna run through the event one more time for the flow, and then we'll move to your next event. So, starts on the start mat. Go. Finishes his GHD sit-ups. Finishes his burpees. The count will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get him on this side. Then the next round, he'll do his GHDs. His burpees will now be down on this end. Then he'll do 1, 2, 3, which puts him down on this end. Correct. Then sit-ups, burpees, carry. So 5, 3, and 1. DJ working up a sweat. Okay. Okay. You good? Okay. All right, moving on to the next event. We're into Saturday here. Now we've got some interval work. Starting at handstand push-ups, moving to the echo bike, and then finally a max set of double unders. You'll have 4 rounds of 2 minutes of work followed by 1 minute of rest. The repetitions are slightly different by division, but know that the handstand push-ups and echo bike calories descend by 1 rep every round. So make sure to consult your notes on your division. So if you start at 16 reps, the next round would be 15, 14, and so on. Bob getting it warmed up. Let's take a look at the flow. Every round will start with the athletes on this side of the competition floor on the start. At go, you'll run down to the rig, the handstand push-up walls will be set up, and you'll complete your handstand push-ups as designated by your division. You'll then move forward to the bike, and same thing, you'll crank out the calories for your division. You'll then move to the rope, and in the time remaining, you'll complete as many double unders as you can. After every 50 double unders, you'll move forward to the next box. So if DJ gets 50 reps in the first box, he'll then move forward to the next box and continue until time runs out. At the time for that round, he'll leave his rope, he'll return to the start, and he'll wait for the rest period to end. At go, he'll do it all over again. He'll run down to the handstand push-ups. He'll hop on the bike. He'll move forward to where his rope ended up. And after every 50 reps, he'll move forward to the next square. If at any point, let's have him move forward one more. Let's have him move forward one more. If at any point he completes 300 repetitions, he will move to the finish and time stops. Okay, now, really important, if you're getting close on time, you must reach the finish to stop the event. So if I'm here and I get 299, 300 time, but I have not reached the finish, I have to start the round with the next interval and do my buy-in before I get to the finish. And so again, I'm not your coach. Make sure if you get close, you get there. Very important. And time stops at the finish line. Yes? Great question. So let's take a look at the double under progression here. Say it with me. I know we're kind of long in the tooth here, but you're going to move forward after how many reps? 50. That's right. You must move forward at 50. Okay? If you want to be moving up as you're approaching 50 and simply jump to the next box, that's fine. That's pretty skillful. That's good. If you want to stop and move into the next box, that's fine. However, you cannot continue doing more reps in that box once you reach that 50. So if you simply remain in place, those reps won't count. But no, you don't have to stop. If you're skillful enough to keep going into the next box, more power to you.
Cada 50 tem que trocar.
Yes. Only on the finish of the 300th rep does the finish line matter. Okay, so in the other rounds, when you're just at a random number below 300, the finish line doesn't matter, except you must get there to start the next round. Yes?
Primeiro tá bom, 50, aqui foi pra casa dele. Aí fez 10.
Nope. So again, if I've done 50 and I'm doing a couple of reps to kind of bunny hop my way forward past 50, do those reps count? And the answer is no. I've got to get 50 here. My next reps start counting here. Got to get to the next box. Yeah. Okay, last thing on the flow of this event, you must start each round. You cannot take a round off. Okay, so really important everybody understands that. I cannot elect to simply not attempt to complete a round. I must attempt to complete each round. Yes, so the distinction there, there's a difference between I simply don't want to or I'm unwilling to start a round, and I have failed and I'm taking some rest to try to continue going. That's a difference. And of course that will be allowed, but you do not have the option to simply not start the round. That makes sense? Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. For sure. So the question was, hey, I'm in the middle of the event, can my judge help me with the double undercount? Yes. So if you finish off at 27 reps and you can't remember which you've got remaining, yes, the judge will help you. Just ask him. You'll also have time within that rest period for them to remind you. Okay, yes, go ahead. Yes, that's fine if you want to bring a water bottle to the start. Okay, let's take a look at the movements. The handstand push-up, unfortunately we don't have the wall set up, but we can mimic it right here. We're gonna have DJ just stand facing me. The start and the end position are exactly the same. He's gonna be fully extended with his arms in line with his body and his hips and knees fully extended. He's going to touch his head to the floor, which will be a doll on the mat, and then he'll return to that lockout position, and that's where he'll get credit for the rep. There'll be a tape line on the floor, and both hands must remain in contact with the tape line at all times. Okay, so both hands must be touching the tape, and that's any part of the hand on any part of the tape. Kipping is allowed, and the heels do not need to remain in contact with the wall, but they must return to the wall at the finish of the rep. At the finish of the rep, the feet need to be within the width of the hands. So again, during the repetition, if your feet get a little wild, that's fine, but they must return inside the hands at the finish. Questions on the handstand push-up? Yes, sir. Yes, a 30-inch tape line, very standard. You guys should be familiar with that from the open and other events. Great. Okay, echo bike. Again, during the 2-minute walkout, you can set your seat post, and at any point during the event, you can make an adjustment there. Please do not touch the monitor. That'll be reset by the judges.
Não vai falar coisa.
You must remain seated on the bike until your calorie count has been reached. Okay, so you cannot exit the bike before it displays on the screen. Questions on the Echo bike? Great. Moving on. The double unders. So each rep starts with the athlete facing towards the bleachers. The rope must pass around the body twice, and you must spin the rope forward. Again, after every 50 reps, you must move to the next box. And after completing 300 reps, you must reach the finish for time to stop. Questions on the double unders? Yeah. So again, you must remain in the designated box. So if you happen to do 50 in one box, move to the next box and you're getting reps. When you come back across that line, those reps won't count in the box that you were in previously. You gotta be in the designated box. The one, and then I think I have one over here. I'll come right back to you. On the final rep, it does not matter if you bring the rope with you. You just need to get to the finish for time to stop. Okay? We're not trying to make it a memory game at that point. We just got to get you there. Yes.
Ele tem duas provas. Tem duas provas. Eu queria arrumar essa prova. Ele não aparece igual que eu estou pensando. Não, mas eu tô.
So the question was, if I am unable to get a double under in any of the rounds, can I continue? And the answer is yes, as long as you have been actively trying to complete the round in each round. Yes? There is no minimum work requirement. However, you must make an attempt to complete the workout. So if you're taking an extended rest period in an effort to make those reps, that's fine. If you're clearly just sitting the round out and you're trying to gain advantage that way, you will not be allowed to complete the next rounds following. Okay, so again, you have to actively be attempting to finish the event. If you're not, you cannot continue. Okay, we're getting closer. We've got workout number 6, almost there. It's a very simple one. And again, I want you guys to think about that field of play, which will be what we are doing event number 6 on. It is a deadlift sled push event. There we go. We're going to move down to lane number 11. All right, so this is a fast event. It's 3 minutes. In that 3 minutes, you complete as many reps as possible of 3 deadlifts with an axle bar, so it will not be the standard barbell, and then an 80-foot sled push. So the way it's going to work, we'll start on the start mat. At go, you'll move to your barbell. Every time you reach the bar, you'll be lifting facing the bleachers. You'll complete 3 reps. You'll go over the bar to the sled in your lane, and you'll complete 4 sections of the sled, which returns it back to the barbell side. So there'll be 20-foot sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you'll return to your bar. You'll get 3 lifts, again facing the bleachers, and you'll continue in that fashion for 3 minutes. Each section of the field of play will count as 1 rep, and the most reps wins. Questions on the flow of the 3-minute event? Great.
Eles tiram a.
The deadlift, very standard deadlift. Oh, sorry, missed you there. Yes, this event will be done on the turf floor over there. Yep.
Vai ser lá.
Você entendeu a quantas ilhas e quantas ilhas?
Correct. It'll be 20 feet down and back
É
four
uma, duas,
times.
três, quatro.
And the sled will be just like what you see here with the 4 posts, so you will not have to turn the sled. You simply go to the other side.
Só que eles tiram aquela parte da.
Okay, so we're going to start with the deadlift. Each rep starts with the bar on the ground. You get credit when the bar is locked out and the hips and knees are extended with the head and shoulders behind the bar. You must use a conventional stance, meaning the hands are outside of the knees. Bouncing the bar is not permitted, and you must let the bar come to a complete stop if you drop from the top. All right. Questions on the deadlift? Cool. Okay, sled push. Only thing on the sled push that you need to think about is that the entire sled must pass the designated line every time you get to the end of the turnaround. So you can see right now, the entire sled is on DJ's side. Let's just do one section. Tough on the rubber. Good. He's all the way past the line. Now he's good. Okay. Obviously, this is not the floor you guys will be using. It'll be the turf, so it won't be slow going like that. But the entire sled must pass the line. You can push the sled any way that you like. You can use the style where the uprights are close to the shoulder or extended out in front of you, that's fine. However, the sled must remain in your lane. So you cannot touch the outside boundary of the lane with your sled at any time. Again, at the time cap, each 5-foot section that you crossed completely with the sled will count as 1 rep. Questions on the sled push? The weights will be updated shortly. We've been testing out on that field over there, so they're coming. I will say from seeing some of that testing go down, it's not a stop you in your tracks type of thing. It's a good off. I don't have the number specifically for you though. Yeah. Grips are not allowed. Any shoes are allowed over there on the turf. What's that? Let's not get crazy. No flip-flops. Closed toe, please. We're civilized. Okay. Good to go? Simple event. Yep. Correct. The deadlift is always done in the same spot. All right. Event number 7. 10-minute time cap. 5 rounds for time of muscle ups for most divisions. Some divisions will be doing chest to bar pull-ups, overhead squats, with some divisions doing front squats, and then box jump overs. We've got a 10-minute time cap, and there will be a tie break time taken after completing 3 rounds. So once again, we'll have you start on the start mat, and at go, you'll move to the rig to begin working through your designated gymnastics movement. That'll be 6 reps for everybody. Movement depends on your division. Then you'll move to the barbell in your lane, and you'll complete your overhead squats. Some divisions will complete front squats. A note on the barbell. The barbells will be the short barbells. However, they will have the standard sleeve length. So the overall length of the bar is short, but that is made up with the shorter collars. Your experience of where you can grip on the bar will be the same as a full-size bar. You then move forward to the box in your lane, and you'll complete your 12 box jump overs. Once you've finished the designated number, you'll move the box forward to the next section. You can see DJ caught his little mistake there. Intuitively, you'll end up on the same side that you started. You'll just simply roll or pick up the box and move it to the next station. Then you'll return to the rig and you'll continue in that fashion for 4 more rounds. So gymnastics, barbell, box jump. Once he completes his final box jump over, he'll simply move to the finish mat and time stops. There's no movement to the box on the last round. Questions on how to move through the event? Great question. So if we take a look at the last round, let's have him move 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be 2 boxes up. DJ, we're going to have you do your final 2 repetitions. Go ahead, it's fine. So this is his 11th, 12th rep. Pause. You notice where it puts him back behind the box. At that point, as long as he stays in his lane, he can simply move to the finish. He does not need to complete another box jump to get to the finish. Okay, however, you gotta be in your lane. Any other questions on how to get through the event? Awesome. Okay, let's start with the muscle up. We don't have the ring stage, but you guys should all be familiar with muscle ups. You're gonna start below the rings with the arms straight. You must pass through some portion of the dip, and then you must reach full extension at the top in the support position. That lockout must be achieved before you start pushing yourself away to descend. So again, if you lock out with your shoulders behind your hands, that rep will not count. You'll need to do another one. The feet must remain below the rings until you've made the transition to the top. No other gymnastics movements will be allowed. Any questions on the muscle ups? Yes. The rings will be hanging, I believe, off of the middle section of the rig. Yes. And if it's not this floor, it'll be that floor, which is exactly the same. But this is the setup that you'll see. Oh, my mistake. The rings will be hanging off of the 15-foot back upright. Great. Any other questions on the muscle up? Yes, sir. Yes, there will be rings in the warm-up area.
Pergunta se alguém vai poder ajudar ela a subir na bola.
Yes, just like the pull-up bars, there will be risers available if you'd like them. Same risers, 6-inch and a 12-inch. Do we have any divisions in here doing the chest to bar pull-ups? I don't think so. Great. You are? Okay. Touch it. It's okay, you'll hear it again in 30 minutes. All right, moving on. The overhead squat. Bar starts on the ground. Again, it'll be the short bars with the full-size grip. When the bar is on the ground, you can squat snatch if you choose. You must get below parallel and then stand up to full extension of the knees, hips, and arms. Go ahead and rest. questions on the overhead squat? Great. Moving forward to the box jump over. Rep starts on one side of the box. You must jump with a 2-foot takeoff, and both feet must touch the top of the box at the same time. Only your feet may touch the box, so if you touch the box with your hands or a knee, that will not count. And you must step down to the opposite side. When both feet are on the ground, you'll get credit for the rep. So let's see 2 reps. 1. No rep. 2. Great. Now why did he get a no rep? Because he jumped down from the top of the box. You cannot jump down from the top of the box. Keeping me on my toes, DJ. We're deep in it. When you're doing the box jump, you can face the box or you can choose to do a lateral orientation. That's fine, as long as all the other standards are met. Questions on the box jump over? Great. And just a reminder that you've got to move the box after you finish your reps. Yes? Good question. Can I use my hands on my legs? And the answer is no. You may not use your hands to push into your legs during the box jump over. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah, it will be the hard wooden box, just like this. This is a 10-minute time cap. Minutes is correct, though. Who asked that? Yes. Yes, you can flip the box to advance it, or you can carry it. As long as it gets to the right station, you're good. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, final workout. We're getting there. Thank you guys for your time and attention. I know it's a lot to sit through all this. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Workout number 8. Hopefully all of you guys are experiencing that workout when we get to Sunday. We've got a 14-minute time cap, 4 rounds, 4 time. Rope climbs, wall walks, and snatches. There will be a tie break taken at the end of round 2. And the flow is going to be similar to the last workout that we just discussed. You'll start on the start mat, and at go, you'll move back to the rig where you will complete 2 rope climbs. The handstand push-up walls will be up, and then you'll complete your 6 wall walks. And then finally, you'll move to the bar and complete 4 power snatches. Same thing, the bar will be the short bar with the full-size grip. And so again, it will be a short bar to make sure it's safe lifting lane to lane, but your experience of it will feel just like a full-size bar. Once you complete your snatches, go ahead. He will move the bar forward. That's his 4th rep. He'll move the bar forward to the next box, and then return to the rig. Continue in that fashion for 4 rounds, and after the last snatch, he'll move to the finish. Time stops when you reach the finish. Questions on the final event flow? Is that growing into a question? Is it? No, you're good? Okay. Yes. You can drop the bar from the top, that's fine, but you must go over the bar to advance, and the bar must stay in your lane. Okay, let's talk about the rope climb. It's a standard rope climb. We don't have it set up currently, but it's very simple. Reach up and you will touch the top of the crossbeam. Don't get confused, I don't mean the second crossbeam at the back of the rig, but simply the crossbeam at the rig. Note that there is a rectangular or a triangular shackle that hangs down below the crossbeam. That does not count. You must touch the crossbeam. There's no climb down standard during the rope climb. So once you've made the touch, your rep counts. Any questions on the rope climb? Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely. You can jump up to the rope climb as much as you'd like.
Eu acho que eu sou mais caro.
Yeah.
O preço normal, de roupa, o preço normal, não tem alto.
For the rope climb, we're not concerned with which direction you start when you're facing the rope.
Você pode pegar a balsa lá para
Up to
dentro,
you.
aí do outro lado tem
Okay. Wall walk. This is the same wall walk that you would have experienced during the open. There will be a tape line on the ground that's 10 inches from the wall. That's the tape line that you must get your hands to at the top of the rep. And there'll be a tape line away from the wall that you start the rep. For women, that will be 55 inches away from the wall. For men, that will be 60 inches. You must start with your chest and thighs on the ground, both hands on the tape line. Both feet need to get onto the wall before you start walking. Both hands touch the tape line before you return to the start position. Both hands must touch the far tape line before the feet reach the floor. Any questions on the wall walk? Okay, we're flying now. Snatch, last movement. The bar starts on the ground and it finishes in the overhead position with the hips, knees, and arms locked out. Very nice. Any style of snatch is permitted. And once you've completed the rep, you may drop the bar from the top, but the bar must remain in your lane, and you must go over the bar when you're advancing to the finish. Reminder, on rounds 1, 2, and 3, you'll move the bar after you finish your last rep. Questions on the snatch? Awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. That was a monster amount of information. Best of luck to all the competitors, and we will see you guys out there.
Briefing CrossFit Games 2025.
Oh, sorry.
Terminou agora, depois de 1 hora e 28 minutos. Amanhã tem Matheus
I'll be quick, you guys. I'll
Ferrari.
be quick. All right, where's my teenagers?
10 horas da
Can you raise
manhã,
your
horário
hands?
do
My teenagers.
Brasil.
Hi, welcome. We're so
Até
happy
amanhã.
to see you.